Good morning. Welcome. Happy Friday. You know what? I forgot lipstick. You cannot be a good Mary Kay lady without your lipstick. So here we go. We actually at one point had a lipstick test and had everybody dig a lipstick out of their purse that was well loved and well used and looked at how people used their lipstick. Did they go all one direction from one side and it ends up being a little point? Did they go one direction from all sides and it ends up being like a cylindrical point? Did they do it flat and the whole top ends up being flat? It was hilarious. It was this weird little personality test. I thought it was fun. To do it at a party was really fun. So, good morning. Happy Friday. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well. And there are at least a couple of you that I know are needing some words of wisdom. Looks like someone has popped on. Glad you're here. Welcome. Your name is not rolling. Come on, Facebook. You can do better. Let's see who's here. So, Jonelle, good morning, my dear. Good morning. Glad you are here. We have, I made one up today. And I think it's going to be relevant to quite a few people. So, and good morning to whomever else has just popped on. Glad you are here. We got some learning to do. And I'm really excited about this one. Because I woke up at 3 o'clock. Oh, first I got to tell you my story from last night, because this was hilarious. So I have this poor friend, Kathy, who, whenever we do a road trip and we take my vehicle, good morning, Mel, glad you are here, welcome. We end up with some kind of schputzy. I don't care, a flat tire. Most of it involves the tires now that I think about it. But she said, you're not going to take me anywhere anymore because every time we go somewhere, we have an issue. So it was kind of feeling that way. Anyway, now what was my point with that? Come on, bud. Track. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you are here. Welcome. Good morning, Barb. Glad you are here. And I just want to say, I think those of you who are here this morning, it's no accident you're here. There's a reason you're here for this download I got this morning. And the statement that's on the feed for this particular message, I've said it a bazillion times. The worst things that happen to us can be the best things that happen for us. We may not see it at the time, but there it is. So, last night, I knew it'd pop back in. Just keep talking, eventually it comes back up. So I'd been waiting all day long yesterday to go out to dinner with my friend Candy because she picked Draft Gastropub, which is one of my favorite places in town to go. Good morning, Beth. Glad you are here. And I even made a reservation. I did the tech thing, and they've got one of those, what is it? Open something, open dining, open seat, open something. Anyway, got to register and all the shit and got my reservation. I'm like, oh, goody. And we get there and it's busy. I mean, the whole bar is full and I'm like, yay me for making a reservation. And at one point during the day, I thought, I want to go look at the menu and pick out what it is I want to eat. And I was just savoring the whole day, right? So we get there, order drinks. We're sitting there yakking. We had a bunch of stuff to talk about. And the lights flicker out. Open table. That's it. Thank you, Joniel. I appreciate it. And so all of a sudden they pop back on and they've got an electric fireplace that changes colors and this gigantic wreath above it and all this stuff. And a few minutes later, the power flickers and then it comes back on. And so we just keep going. And when the power goes out, the whole place gets quiet. And then when the power comes back on, everybody starts chatting again. And the third time, power goes out and does not come back on. And so we're just talking and doing our thing and whatever. We're waiting for We Energies to show up and do whatever. And we look down the line of the strip mall that we're in, and other businesses have their lights on. We're like, that's interesting. Well, then the wait staff comes over and she says that the other way down the block is all black. And she said, we're sorry, we're not going to serve tonight. A crushing blow. I had my mouth all ready for this fabulous meal. We ended up at a sports bar, surrounded by the damn televisions, all blaring different crap, cacophony of noise, blah, blah, blah. And we split a chicken quesadilla and a spinach dip. Sometimes things don't go the way we think they're supposed to go, right? So anyway, I think we ate at like 8 o'clock. That is not me. Bedtime is 8 o'clock, not supper time. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you are here. Welcome. So came home, went to bed, blah, blah. Woke up at 3 in the morning. Not uncomfortably so. Like, okay, I've had enough sleep and now my brain wants to think. All right, brain, go ahead and think. And what popped into my head was that saying that I have espoused for years based on my own life experiences and the life experiences of 40 years worth of clients. Sometimes the worst things that happen to you are the best things that happen for you. Let that resonate through your system. And the reason I'm saying this is one of our beloved practical rebels here is dealing with a life circumstance where someone in the family has lost a job and life is scary right now. Another one of my friends posted a picture of himself yesterday looking very dejected. I feel for him. Sitting outside the courtroom waiting for his turn to get a divorce. And the outpouring of love for this man, hang in there. I got divorced 20 years ago. It was the best thing that happened to me, even though it felt like crap at the time, blah, 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 blah. So I got to thinking, maybe it's time we reiterate for all of us that the difficulties in life can open new doors. It can be, so I looked around my desk before I jumped on here and I pulled together all of the things that I keep sitting right in front of my face, right? Which are the ones that I think would be the most relevant to the people in the shoes of, oh shit, my life just fell apart. So that's what I want to share with you today. So let's take a breath. Let it go. Let the shoulders drop. Open your heart space. It's so easy to clamp down and, duck our heads and just trudge forward or curl up in a ball and put the covers over our head. Throw your shoulders back. Take a breath. Sometimes the worst things that happen to us are the best things that happen for us. So let's run through some stuff, shall we? I dare to believe in something bigger than my circumstances. Itty bitty little post-it note. I think I wrote that one on a day when, it might have been right after my dad ended up going to the hospital, the whole trauma of 4 a.m. and the ambulance ride and all the stuff. First Christmas after divorce, yes. All those milestones, right? So my poor friend Diane goes through this every year where there is a chunk in the fall where damn near everybody she loved died. Different years, but it's just whammo, 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 whammo. It's like, holy buckets. I dare to believe in something bigger than my circumstances. And think about all the people. How many stories do we see on Facebook about the person who's just post-divorce or the person who's now a single mom or the person who just lost their job or they got kicked out of college or whatever it is, and they're just reeling with, what do I do now? What do I do now? The rug has been ripped out from under my life. What do I do now? And those who hang in there, I got to the point in my psychotherapy practice where when someone would come in and say, I got fired today, if I knew them well enough, I didn't do this with everybody, if I knew them well enough, I would go, congratulations. And they'd look at me like I was nuts. And I'd say, 1 year from now, you are going to be so happy that happened. And I'd mark it on the calendar. So a year later, when it was their next session to come in, and sometimes, people don't do therapy for a long chunk of time, although most of us could benefit from it. But I'd send them a card. It's a year later. How is your life? And to the person, I don't think I ever had anyone say, my life is crappier since I lost that job. Or my life is crappier since I got that divorce. Once there was that distance from it, oftentimes there was that sense of, how did I put up with that as long as I put up with that? Even when it, like a divorce where they thought everything was fine, they still at a year out can come to that view of, but obviously something wasn't fine. And I don't want to have lived in a not fine situation, even in ignorance. I want to live my life fully. So I dare to believe in something bigger than my circumstances. I also think sometimes we know that something really isn't working out for us, but it's the comfort of that familiarity, right? It's hard to uproot our lives, especially if we're not sure where we're going next, right? And you all know for me, my divorce was devastating. Fortunately, that's far enough behind me that I'm very happy I'm divorced at this point. And I haven't seen fit, I've dated here and there, but I haven't seen fit to complicate my life with someone long term. So, start digging through the rubble and start looking for, what are the nuggets of gold? What's good right now? What am I being called to do? I love that phrase, called to. That was actually part of our reading last night. Do I have it here? Yeah. It was Ilia Delio on Moving Onwards Towards. And she was talking about Advent. You've done that twice. Yep. And so Maureen, if you're willing to share, what have you learned from those 2 rounds? What were your nuggets of gold? What did you take out of that has been a North Star for you? If you're willing to put it in the feed, fabulous. That'd be great. So the idea that this particular little video, the website is called The Work of the People. And it has a lot of faith-based videos of people, theologians and just regular old people, talking about spiritual things. And in this case, it was basically, why are we waiting for God to show up? God already showed up. What are we going to? Self-love. Yes. I stayed way too long and neglected myself. Yep, I did the same thing. 5 years earlier would have been a really smart move. Sometimes we don't act that way. Sometimes okay, I can fix this. I can ignore this. I can, whatever it is. When we truly step into, wait a minute here, boundaries. Yes. So those crappy situations were your opportunities to learn self-care, self-love, setting good boundaries, knowing when done is done, tending to ourselves. What gifts of learning? Crappy situation, absolutely crappy situations. But what gifts of learning, right? Wow. Let me see. Something's churning. So what do we do with this? Especially in the days right after the rug gets ripped out from under us. Good morning, Nancy. Glad you are here. What do we do? First thing we do is impeccable self-care. Impeccable self-care. That means sometimes just sitting there staring out the window. Sometimes calling a friend. Hey, could we go for a walk? Could we go have coffee? And again, for many of us, we've been wired to sort of pull in, I'll fix it myself, fix it, right? Instead of go through this process of grieving whatever has just happened. We need to take the time. Don't rush into, how am I going to fix this? Sit with it. Be with the misery of, oh my God, I'm getting a divorce. Or, oh my God, I just got fired. Or, oh my God, my partner just died. Or whatever. Sit with that if you can. It's painful. It sucks. But there are nuggets of gold in that grieving process. And what I think the grief does for us is allow us to move into an expansive consciousness. And expansive consciousness dissolves obstacles. Those obstacles, my other one. I didn't even pick this one out to read today. Here's another one. Obstacles are challenges that provide me with some learning I really need to move forward. Look at what the ladies are saying here. I needed to learn boundaries. I needed to learn self-love. I needed to learn self-care. Obstacles are challenges that provide me with some learning I really need to move forward. They are vital steps in the process rather than annoyances or barriers. We are meant to learn stuff from these crappy things that happen to us. I think about the plethora of things that happen. My poor son and his significant other who lost their dog this year to, I can't remember what the name of the thing is, but it's not the twisted gut thing. It's basically a raging infection that one moment your dog is alive and next moment your dog is gone. And the devastation they felt at losing their dog. All of people who've had car accidents. I think car accidents are a huge wake-up call, especially deer hits. I kind of feel like deer are messengers. And when they take us out, and unfortunately we usually take them out as well, they're sacrificing themselves for us to learn something we need to learn. So when I hit a deer, my God, let's see. Lauren was 13. She'd come back from her dad's house, so she was staying because the next day was a school day. I was teaching in Minneapolis, was driving home. It was 10 at night. I'm like 40 miles from home, and I hit the deer. She comes up out of the ditch. It's icy. You can't stop. No, it wasn't Blasto either. I don't remember the name of it. I want to say it starts with an S. But I hit her. There wasn't a bloody thing I could do, and coasted over to the side and was in the adrenal glands getting taxed and the cortisol flying and, the stress response. And then I went, wait a minute. I'm still alive. I didn't lose control of the vehicle. I'm still encapsulated in a safe thing. I've got a cell phone. I can call the police, which I did. And when she showed up, I said, did you see the deer I hit? And she goes, nope, but I saw where you hit her. Shit. Yes. So, and the tow truck guy hauled me and all of my crap all the way back to Green Bay, dropped the vehicle at the place to get fixed, hauled me all the way home. And I'm like, there is much here to be grateful for. Much here to be grateful for. And the message was slow down. Slow down. You're doing too much. You're not allowing yourself the time to be grieving. And as we struggle our way out of this stuff, as we swim to the top of the murky water and our head breaks the surface of the water, then we got to take a look at, how am I going to now fail forward to success? How am I going to take a next step? What step do I really want to take? If I take a moment and I listen within, what step do I want to take? Ooh, I need some self-care. I haven't been doing a good job of that. Or, ooh, I need to set some boundaries in other places as well. Or I need to take a little time off. Not rush into finding a new job, not rush into, but I need to listen within. What am I being called to? What am I being called to? And I'm going to trot out one that came through the other day. If we aren't willing to fail, we aren't willing to learn. We have to make mistakes. We have to screw stuff up, right? So those of you who had kids, first time your kid tried to ride a bike and they fell off or fell over, did you yell at them? What the hell's wrong with you? Why can't you figure this out? Are you stupid? No. Come on, buddy, let's get up. Let's try it again. Oh, I'll brush your knee off. All right, let's go, sweetie. Let's go. And off you go again. We need to allow ourselves to fail. Failure is one of our best teachers. And most of us go, ew, it's so icky. And sometimes it feels very icky, yes. Especially when you have the peanut gallery chiming in, oh, look at you, you dumbass, can't believe you fit, blah, 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 all the things, right? And as we discovered recently, oftentimes people are harder on women who fail than men who fail. Failure is merely a step on the way to success. We have to be willing to fail. In Mary Kay, one of the things that we have is this sheet of paper, just your basic sheet of paper with 100 faces on it. And where the job is go out and get 100 no's. Ask 100 people, are you willing to host a party? Get 100 no's. First one back with 100 no's gets a prize. Got to the point where we were more excited about no's than yeses. Flips the whole thing on its head. Flips the whole thing on its head. When you're job hunting, if you just go to one company and you're one of those serial appliers, I'm going to apply here and then I'm going to wait until I hear back from this one, then I'll apply to another one. It's a strategy. It's not a good one. And I'll tell you why. Because if you have 3 things in the hopper, then if any one of them says no, it's like, okay, thank you, next. You've got 2 others waiting. And then I would suggest adding more. Spread the wealth, spread the joy, spread the love. Also, you want to be in the place of having faith and trust that whatever just happened, no matter how crappy it was, is in divine right timing and divine right order. So let's go through our statements again and hear them with the ear of someone who's in that place of something major just happened. I lost my job. I got a divorce. My kid was arrested for drugs. Someone died. One of the big ones, right? Now hear these statements from that perspective. Today the divine will show me the way. I am open to all signs and messages. The perfect steps are already picked, and I am guided to them. Moving through the world open to constant help gets easier and easier with practice. That constant help. The image that always pops into my mind with the constant help one is, remember the scene in The Princess Bride where Mandy Patinkin is trying to find Carrie Elwes. And he's got his sword out and he's talking and like, Father, I need your help. I don't know where he is, blah, blah, blah. And the sword hits the tree and the fake door opens. And we can do that anytime. I need some guidance. Where should I apply? I need some guidance. What's my next best step? I need some guidance. Yes, my struggle is knowing that this is what was needed, also feeling I failed. So, going back to that idea of turning things on their head, ask yourself, how was this a success for me? How was I successful here? So what I would say for my divorce was, I was successful in finally saying, this is not good for me. This is not good for you. You are not brave enough to file the papers. I will do it. I will do it. I was successful. It took a while to move past that feeling of I have failed. Because when we make our marriage vows, it's built right in there how it's supposed to be, right? And because our particular circumstances didn't go that way, we end up feeling like we screwed it up. And are there things that we did screw up in our marriages? Oh, yes. We're human beings. We are going to make mistakes. We are absolutely going to make mistakes. It's whether or not that union is strong enough to weather those mistakes. And in many cases, it isn't. So I like to think about it as there's success in there as well by saying, enough is enough. I have flailed against the machine long enough. I have banged my head on this wall till my forehead is bloody. Enough is enough. That is a success. You're welcome. I feel you. I feel you. And I want you to look around this group. How many of us have weathered those storms? Lost a job, had someone important die, got a divorce, etc. We're all still standing. We're all still standing. And many of us are standing in a better place than we would have been if we kept trying to fix something that was irrevocably broken. Let's take a breath. And I want you to feel some gratitude. First of all, let's warm up our hands. Put them on your heart. And I want you to feel some gratitude for the you that goes through all this stuff, all these life events, all the trips and falls and stumbles and bumps and bruises. Feel some gratitude for him or her. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. And we keep getting up. And we keep looking for what's next. What's my next step? Give me some guidance here. And we practice our patience, that sometimes it isn't quite time yet for a next step. Sometimes we just have to be where we are, feeling what we feel, caring for ourselves, asking for support, because we don't have to walk this path alone. We don't have to walk this path alone. My little thing from Sark on my wall. The circles of women around us weave invisible nets of love that carry us when we're weak and sing with us when we are strong. My wish is also for men to have that. Women tend to do that kind of naturally. We tend and befriend. We lock arms and we collaborate. Men tend to be more the Lone Rangers. That's how we've trained people to be, right? So I love a good men's group. I love a good men's group. So necessary. Men need the support of their brothers. They absolutely do. And when they are willing to let go of ego and say, I need some help, guys, amazing things happen. Amazing things happen. Yes, learning to love ourselves. Learning to value ourselves exactly as we are. We don't have to try harder. We don't have to fix anything. We don't have to be different than we are. We deserve our own love exactly as is. Warts and all, as my friend Deb would say. So, let's take a breath. And I'm going to butcher this quote, but Mary Oliver, what are you going to do with your one wild, beautiful life? Here we are. Maybe we're the phoenix rising out of some ashes. But where will you soar? Where will you soar? You may not have the answer yet, but even posing the question is a good enough step. Have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are, and you are surrounded by love. Bye-bye.